As someone who enjoys trying out different makeup looks but doesn't wear a ton on a daily basis, I like to focus on making sure I have high quality staples. And regardless of your makeup routine, you've probably seen Thrive Cosmetics' viral tubing mascara. I've certainly seen it everywhere. It's in that turquoise tube and it's become my go-to for mascara because it doesn't clump or smudge and it comes off really easily with just water. So that mascara, along with all of Thrive Cosmetics beauty products, are certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free. Their bestsellers have thousands of 5-star reviews and it's easy to see why. Their products are great. I love a multi-purpose makeup product, and their brilliant eye brightener is perfect to use as eyeliner, eyeshadow, even highlighter. I'd recommend using shade Stella for that. They all have a shimmer, and Stella is this really pretty champagne color that looks great on a variety of skin tones. Something I also didn't know from all the mascara videos I saw is that for every product sold, Thrive Cosmetics donates either that same product, another product that's needed more, or a monetary donation towards 8 major causes, including those impacted by cancer, domestic abuse, and veteran and education organizations. So refresh your everyday look with Thrive Cosmetics. It's beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/thrive for 20% off your first order.
This episode is brought to you by SkinnyPop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. SkinnyPop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up SkinnyPop Original Popcorn today.
In 2005, 2 brothers hit the road to fight monsters. That road has led them to fighting demons, angels, and saving the world.
It's a journey that is taking them to heaven, hell, and back. But they aren't done.
Join our journey as we go episode by episode, following the adventures of Sam and Dean Winchester. We break each episode down with the writers, producers, directors, crew, and actors to bring you the behind-the-scenes stories of how this legendary TV series was made. That guy right there, that's Rob Benedict. He played God and Chuck Shirley.
Hey, and that guy there, that's Richard Spade Jr. He played Gabriel, Loki, and the Trickster. And P.S., he directed a bunch of episodes, too.
Now, while we are insiders, we're also outsiders, because we're not experts. This is our first time watching the entire series, all 327 episodes.
Rich and I have met many of the fans at conventions around the world, and we are deepening our understanding of why you all love this series so much. Because it's really good.
Yeah, it is. Now, listen. There will be spoilers, so consider yourself warned.
And thank you for joining us on this trip we call Supernatural Then and Now. Hey everybody, this is Rob Benedict.
And this is still Richard Spade Jr.
And we are now on season 6 of Supernatural, episode 1, Exile on Main Street.
Yeah, man, we are.
Possibly the best Rolling Stones album, arguably the best Rolling Stones album.
A lot of people say that. I believe, isn't that when Mick Taylor joined the band? Wasn't it in the Mick Taylor years?
They recorded in the south of France. There are documentaries about it. It's Martin Scorsese's favorite. And I didn't know it as well. And then I discovered it in my adult life. It really is a fantastic album.
I mean, obviously, Brian Jones started the band and really helped create the sound. Right. But when he died, or left the band unceremoniously, or was fired and died, when Mick Taylor takes it over, they were already a massive band. They were already a huge band. What a hard job to take. And Mick Taylor's guitar sound is probably, his albums are probably the most definitive Rolling Stones albums ever. His impact in the band is massive.
And you look at him though, he's such a young looking guy. He looks like deer in the headlights.
And by the way, I think that's what ended up ending, like I think he just got swooped up in the fame and the heroin and everything else.
Drugs.
And
the drugs he didn't
took him
have.
out.
Yeah. But hey, season 6 of Supernatural.
Exactly. Back to why we're
In
here.
the same way, it's not season 5. It's not your Eric Kripke Supernatural anymore. This is the first year they're away from Eric Kripke, and honestly, we're in a zone that I've never been in before because I've never even heard of these episodes. So I'm really in like a new fresh water, and I think Rich, you're the same.
Yeah, more so than any other section of the show.
Yeah, but hey, season 6, and you know what that means?
No.
Flash sale. That's right, flash sale. We're having a 40% off.
I wasn't
Flash
looking at the
sale.
sheet, and you started that. I'm like, I don't know where this improv is going.
Flash sale, 40% off until October 31st.
So everything associated with the television show Flash is on sale.
No, that's not true. No, Supernatural flash sale. And we're clearing out the store to make way for new merch. That's right, new merch is coming in. That's news to me. Everything is 40% off. Shirts, stickers, tote bags, and even Rob's Dumb Notes. And these will be collector items by November, so get them while they're flashed. I don't know if that's what you call it, but...
Well, I mean, it works for this. Go to spnthenandnow.com and look for the 40% off banner.
40% off!
Or logo or spokesperson or whatever.
That's right, yeah. Well... It's a new year, it's a new Dean, it's a new Sam, and
Are you summarizing? Oh, you're right into it. Let's do it. All right, Robbie, summarize.
I was introing the summary, but sure, if you want to just go ahead and...
I mean, you started reading the first sentence, I felt like. I got nervous.
I didn't really, but...
I panicked. This is on me. Look, man, season 5, Rich was in the zone. Season 6, Rich, I'm on one foot here, you know?
A year has passed since Sam and Dean saved the world from the apocalypse, with Sam having jumped into Lucifer's cage. Dean has moved in with Lisa and Ben. The Impala sits in the garage, covered. Dean meets a neighbor at a bar for drinks. A waitress named Brigitte serves them drinks and slips her phone number to Dean. He tears it up. That life is behind him.
Brigitte was the name of Bob Singer's executive assistant.
Oh, is that
all the
right?
Years.
Oh, funny.
Supernatural. Yeah.
That life is behind him. As Dean leaves the bar, he hears a scream. His hunter instinct kicks in, and he rushes to a nearby construction site. There, he finds only claw marks and blood. The next day, he sees similar claw marks on a neighbor's garage door. He goes in to investigate and nearly shoots the neighbor's Yorkie.
Did you ever have a Yorkie in Vancouver? If you go to that Irish pub, which is called Johnny Fox's, they had Yorkies, which was Yorkshire pudding with tri-tip in it.
Whoa, it sounds like a heart attack in a jar.
Yeah, well, it wasn't served in a jar, but other than that, you're correct.
Anyway, he nearly shoots that Yorkie belonging to the neighbor. He also finds sulfur on the ground.
I think they're referring to Yorkie the dog, not Yorkie the tasty Irish treat.
You know what? I would assume so. But this is a good place to point out that of the 6 seasons, and I'm going to get a lot of slack for this, worst Dean haircut ever.
Ooh, interesting. I didn't really think about it.
They've got him looking like he lives in suburbia, and it's just not. It's not a sexy haircut on a very, very good looking man. He asked Lisa to take Ben to the movies so they aren't potentially harmed. As Dean starts to pull gear from the Impala, he's suddenly attacked by Azazel. That's right, Azazel. Remember him, the yellow-eyed demon? He's back.
Oh yeah, who could forget the yellow-eyed demon?
With extreme close-ups. Sam drives Azazel and hits Dean in the chest with a syringe. That's right, Sam. The same one that was locked in Lucifer's cage.
He gives Azazel a ride where?
Wow. Sam drives through Azazel and hits Dean in the chest with a syringe. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right, Sam. The same Sam that was locked in Lucifer's cage. He's just free.
Sam Smith?
No, Sam Winchester.
Sam Smith, the singer?
No, it's Sam Winchester, played by Jared Padalecki, alive and well, hair looking actually very good. Like by the way, on the other end of the spectrum, Lucifer's cage did wonders for the locks.
Yeah.
He's really in that vintage Padalecki mode with his hair. Dean comes to, and at first he thinks he's in heaven. Why wouldn't he? It's Sam. Where was that? Come on. We just had I thought, what's going on?
Yeah.
Sam explains that he has been raised from hell, and that while Dean was at the bar, Jin, the waitress, poisoned him. That's right. The phone number, it was all just a ruse.
That's why I'd never get phone numbers from hot girls in bars. It's a sober warning.
Yeah.
Because I could.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, I could.
No,
but I choose not to.
Yeah. I don't get phone numbers from women who are named after Bob Singer's assistant.
Executive assistant.
It was causing him to hallucinate. This Jin poisoned him, caused him to hallucinate. Sam says Castiel hasn't returned his calls, and he doesn't know how he was rescued from hell. Sam has been back a whole year.
A year, buddy.
And has been giving Dean space to try to build a normal life.
I get it.
I mean, can I just take a second? What the F is going on? So why is Sam back? Why did it take him a year? Where the hell is Castiel? Season 6, I don't know.
I hardly knew ye.
I already knew ye. Sam has been hunting with their cousins, Gwen, Mark, and Christian Campbell. Now, I did a pilot with an actor named Christian Campbell, Nev Campbell's little brother. But separate from that, these are the most unfriendly cousins I think I've ever met.
Oh my God, not a warm room.
Jesus. Samuel Campbell, the boy's grandfather, is also part of the team. That's right, Samuel. He was somehow returned from heaven. The brothers send Lisa and Ben off to Bobby, who has known about Sam's return. Sam and Dean return to Dean's house to use him as bait to try and capture the Djinn. Brigida arrives with 2 other Djinn. They are seeking revenge on Sam and Dean because the boys killed the Djinn's father in season 2. Dean is poisoned again and has another hallucination of the yellow-eyed demon. This time, the demon is feeding Ben blood, and Lisa burns on the ceiling, a la their mother, Sam
Smith.
That's right. Not
and
the singer.
girlfriend.
Sam gives Dean another dose of their grandfather's antidote. Sam and the Campbells kill 2 of the Djinns. Samuel captures Brigida.
The executive assistant?
and
That seems inappropriate. The one was trying to work.
And Sam tries to convince Dean to return to hunting, but Dean chooses to stay with Lisa and Ben. Dean offers the Impala. Sam declines. He has his own ride. Okay, man. Okay. Okay.
Well, let's get into what we like to call R. And I don't want to go into RRR, honestly. Like, I feel like, is there any way we can do this episode without the RRR part?
Okay. But it is Rob and Rich ratings. So
Ratings.
I'm going to chalk it up to we just don't know what's going on yet.
That's a lot of eyes, by the way. You're like,
If we're scripted, you'd be like, I. It's just maybe we don't know what's going on yet. Like, what is Sam? Is that Sam? Is that Lucifer? Is that
none of this makes any sense to me? Not one iota of what's going on makes sense.
Didn't you get the feeling that maybe he's bad news?
Yeah, he didn't seem like all that friendly. Look, I love Mitch as an actor, great actor as always, and he brings an intensity to it.
That seemed like he was evil.
I mean, maybe
it seemed like he was evil.
Maybe not knowing what's going on is part of the point. To your point, but
just as a takeaway, since I don't know anything yet, I'm going to say, what the hell's going on? Why is Sam not acting like Sam? Why are the cousins the most unfriendly cousins ever? It's like the worst family reunion ever.
Dude, it's a completely different show than we were watching 2 weeks ago in season 5. It's a jarringly different show. And by the way,
it looks different. Yeah.
It looks different. It looks like they've changed the color palette and it's not just, I know that there's the thought of like, well, it's suburbia, so they changed it to look like a Hallmark movie. But when they go into the fighting den of the Campbell family and all that stuff, it still looks like that. It's such a weird, it all looks so weird.
Again, this is supernatural. We've been fooled before, you know?
Well, I'm with you that something must be up because Sam's real blasé about the whole thing.
Yeah, i.e. changing channels. You don't quite know what we're actually looking at. So maybe there's going to be a bigger reveal that we just don't know about yet.
Yeah, Sam's real blasé. He's really blasé.
You're also very
about
blasé.
everything.
You counted like 4 yawns in the last 5 minutes.
Dude, this is a really, I'm yawning out of nerves because I don't know how to talk about this episode.
They yawn when they're nervous?
Yeah, I'm literally nervous and I'm yawning because I don't know how to talk about this episode. It's a weird one. You know, Mitch Pileggi coming in is a great addition and great to see Freddie Lane. And some of the dream sequency stuff is kind of cool when Freddie Lane is feeding Dean's son blood and all that. That's cool. Obviously, Phil Segrista directed it, so, you know, no shortage of cool sequences.
All the things that we love about Supernatural are still there. Jensen and Jared.
Except no
Misha.
I've never felt more like this was a show on the CW than this episode. It just felt like a completely different show. I felt like a family, weird sort of half-fake family, hot people because it's CW.
I'm going to chalk it up to like we don't know, something's going on.
Well, I think that must be the answer because the show continued. I think if the show stayed like this, we'd be wrapping up the end of this would be our final season of talking about it. It obviously takes a sharp right here somewhere.
Well, what is exciting is that we're getting into like more people that we... You know, I noticed that Adam Glass is writing episodes. He's our friend. And, of course, just to see Pileggi in there. You know what this kind of reminds me of is season 2, when they were kind of trying something a little bit new, bringing in, Harvell's, with new characters that were kind of series regulars, but they just lasted a season. It was like, that's what it kind of reminds me of with Pileggi and the cousins and Cindy Sampson as, you know, Dean's wife. Like, almost maybe trying this on for size. I don't know. That's that feeling that I had, because after season 1, you go into season 2 and you're like, wait, this is a different thing. It just takes you a second to get used to. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of like, okay, it's a new season. We don't know yet.
Yeah, but that's all well and good, but you have to analyze this thing as a standalone episode, because
I do. You don't have to tell me the rules.
Have to do.
I know the rules.
Well, those are the rules. And tell them to you I shall, if you try to avert the rules. Because I see you pulling a Benedictine move here where you're like, hey, everybody wins. And I know you're a giant liar, because so help me God, if you give this thing a beard, I don't think you're, if I think you're lying, I'm coming through the screen. I'm smacking your face.
Don't get mad at me.
You're a liar. And I know that you want everybody to feel good, Rob. I get it. Everybody should feel good. Everybody's wonderful and everybody works hard. But sometimes, buddy, the grade comes back and it's not an A.
Hey, man,
you know what I mean?
You don't have to tell me the rules. I know the rules.
And tell them to you I shall, if I feel I must.
What beard I want to give it. What are you gonna do, Rich?
Okay, so here we go. I mean, this was a tough one, and I know that it's setting up something, but just on its own, aside from the Mitch Pileggi reveal, I thought it was super strange and CW-ish and felt dated in that regard as well, because it felt like now I'm watching young adult content. I've never felt older sitting there watching husband and wife conversations with Dean and
it does
Mrs.
make
Dean.
you think.
I'm like, this show just
Dawson's
left my
Creek.
genre pool. Like this is now a show I'm like, ooh. I'm going to give this one, I'm giving this Matt Cohen in the morning.
Wow, Matt Cohen in the morning. Okay, this is a very good-looking guy that just needs to shave.
Very good-looking guy with a little bit of stubble that he's then going to shave off. So I'm fighting my desire to give this a complete Mr. Clean.
Right.
But I'm going to give it a little bit of stubble because Mitch Pileggi.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to give it. That's not so bad. I thought it might be worse.
So I just want to clarify, that's as close to bald, like, because Matt Cohen, people who don't know Matt Cohen, he doesn't have a beard. He doesn't stay unshaven.
Right.
He has a little bit of sexy guy stubble. And that's
I think I did this maybe season 1 or season 2, but I'm going to give it the Wooly Willy. And Wooly Willy is that game where it's a magnet.
The magnet game?
Yeah, where you can.
So you give him a completely bald guy with a red nose?
No. Wooly Willy is like the whole thing's you're building a beard. You're building a beard on a bald face with a magnet. And so I don't know what this is going to be yet. We're building a beard. There's potential, but right now it's unfinished.
I get it, but then I feel like you've just given yourself a safety net so you can stay popular.
You know what?
And people can hate me.
You don't yuck my yum. You know what I mean?
People love you though. People they embrace you and they shun me.
What does that have? No, that's so not true. That couldn't be further. You make sure that people shun me. That's your whole bit. Shun Rob.
I try out of desperation.
I think it's a Wooly Willy because we don't know what it is, and the Wooly Willy, even if you have the perfect Wooly Willy on the beard on the thing, it's still a beard because it's not.
All right, so it's Wooly Willy and Matt Cohen in the morning.
Matt Cohen in the morning, aka Wooly Willy. So we'll see. Well, the good news is this episode features one of our favorite people, Mitch Pileggi, and we get to talk to him right now. Mitch Pileggi is a living legend of film and TV. His early credits included legendary TV shows like Dallas, Falcon Crest, and The A-Team. I mean, this guy is epic. He became famous with his breakout role as Assistant Director Skinner on The X-Files. He went on to larger roles in Grey's Anatomy, Sons of Anarchy, Stargate Atlantis, the Dallas reboot, and Walker.
And by the way, he's obviously most famous for one particular role that Steve actually put in the description that I didn't see until I started talking.
Well, let me say this first. The guy also starred in Wes Craven's Shocker and Return of the Living Dead 2.
Nice.
Of course, you know him as Samuel Campbell in Supernatural. And Rich, what's his best credit of all those?
He is obviously best known and best lauded for his role, his globally famous and respected role as Officer Murphy in some call it a sensation, the indie series that took the world by storm, called Kings of Con.
That Rich and I wrote and starred in, and that's right. We got Pileggi. Yeah, we did. Well, we've got him again, and here he is. Well, first of all, thank you, Mitch, so much for being with us today.
Listen, it's always great hanging out with you guys and seeing you, and I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while, and that's the hard part. But
Well, we miss you too, I know. Glad we have you here now. So your relationship with Kripke goes back to Tarzan. Yeah. Did you also know Kim Manners from back in the day?
Kim was our main director, directing producer on the X-Files. Yeah, he directed the most episodes out of anybody for that show.
So you were tight with him as well.
Oh, Kim and I were like, yeah, he was a brother, and we went through a lot of stuff. Yeah, so it was, when they asked me to come and do Supernatural, I was very excited about possibility, about coming and seeing Kim, and also a lot of the crew on the show was our crew on the X-Files. Yeah. So I knew a lot of those folks, and it was always great to see him and hang out with him again. Yeah, to connect.
Well, you made me think of a question there. I was curious, did it take convincing to get you to do it? I mean, when you did this show, you were a household name. You're on X-Files. You're
Rich. I love you. You're so great.
Massive TV star. You come down and do like Fourth Banana.
Yeah. For David.
Dude,
no, it's almost for me.
X-Files was a phenomenon. I mean, so. Well, I mean, okay, maybe there's some of that, but nonetheless, you were Mitch Pileggi. You weren't even like that guy. Like, people know who you are. Was this a family and friends thing? Like, it's Kim Manners. I know the gang.
Absolutely.
I'll do it. Did they have to convince you, or?
I'm easy. It's just knowing that Kim was on it and having worked with Kripke before, and I really like him a lot. He was always very nice to me, and we always got along great. So I thought, hell yeah, it's in it. Like I say, a lot of the same crew and the same genre that I had come from the X-Files, and I like doing that stuff. So there wasn't a whole lot of thought for me to give. It was pretty much an immediate yes.
And then when you got the call to come back for season 6, how much did you know how many episodes you were going to do at that point? Was it like, hey, we need you for...
I was trying to think about that, Rob, and I can't remember how many, if they had told me how many episodes it was going to be, and I think they maybe had planned on doing more episodes, but when they found out how unpopular the Campbell family was, I mean, what was the last episode called? And then there were none? For the love
I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, for the love of God. It was almost like I felt like there was a...
Oh, I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet.
I mean, it was, well, I don't know. It's I'm still trying to figure out that storyline, and I don't know if I knew.
I think you're exaggerating.
I don't know if I knew. I may have, but I don't recall that I even knew where it was going with him doing what he ended up doing and with trying to sacrifice his grandsons to bring his daughter back. I guess that was. Am I going? I'm ahead of myself here.
You're only surprising me and Rich.
That's okay. The people we're not surprising any people. There's a lot of spoilers on this show.
We're still a little confused as to what's happening, but it will be revealed.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's a lot of it. I didn't sure where they were going with the storyline or what was happening.
Right.
And my first, when I watched that episode the other night, and first thing that struck me was who the hell let Uncle Fester in the room?
I have to say, Mitch, I had a different. I was like, that Mitch Pileggi is a good looking man. You shoot well. You good skin. You're a good looking man.
I love you.
I was serious. I was like,
God bless you for that. But I think I've been described as that. I'll say quite often as having the infamous resting Mitch face. So it's.
Well, that's how God made it.
That's awesome. Resting Mitch face.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the episode, but we need to pull over for a second for some messages. And also, I have to tinkle.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're gonna love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by SkinnyPop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. SkinnyPop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up SkinnyPop Original Popcorn today.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And now back to the episode.
So you really kind of came into season 6 knowing you had something to do, but not knowing how invested you would have to be, right? Like, I mean, it wasn't like you signed on for 6 episodes.
I don't think I did. I don't think there were any specific number of episodes. As I recall it, I kind of went in just knowing that I had a great experience working on that one episode. Season 3, was it season 3, I believe? Mm-hmm. I had a great time working on it, and I met the 2 cats in the show, and I thought they were pretty great guys.
So you're back, and so the last time you saw it, you were living in the 70s.
Yeah.
So now you're modern.
Before I broke my wife's neck and killed I don't know. I was
and kissed your daughter as
my daughter, for God's sake.
Yeah.
That poor girl. I swear to God,
way to make it weird,
one of the most
Mitch.
traumatic nights I've ever had. It was knowing that I had to kiss poor Amy, and she had to deal with it. So
I feel like that you just described my life at home with my family and wife. So how much, because dude, as a viewer, Rob and I are watching this for the first time. I've never seen season 6. And so Rob and I are watching these episodes, and you coming in is so badass, and you're always great on screen. And the Campbell family, you're right. There's such a different vibe.
They're snarky
with this group of people.
Snarky, yeah.
Than what we've previously seen in family dynamics with the show.
It's like as soon as
they're a bit of an edge.
Dean walks in the room, they're all, antagonistic towards him. I kept hearing that, and I hadn't watched the episodes for a long time, and people kept going, "Oh, you were so mean to, you were so mean to Dean, you were so mean." And I said, "Well, yeah, he came at me with a lot of attitude too."
Yeah,
or he came at Samuel with a lot of attitude. But when I watched that episode, no, he didn't. He's just trying to figure out what the hell was going on with Sam being there all of a sudden, and now his grandfather's there all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're playing Dean's side of it, it's weird that everybody knew something for a year that you didn't know.
Yeah, so I mean, it would have been aggravating to me too, is like to know that this was all going on. I mean, even Bobby knew, and so he was really left out of it.
Right.
I mean, I think the reasonings that they gave him were valid, but yeah. So I mean, it's like he had reason to have his backup, and they didn't give him a break. They were just like, cocky and
dude, from the get-go, they were real, not a warm room.
No, not at all. Just a bunch of little shit.
But I don't think I thought Sam Campbell coming in, I definitely got obviously you're a big alpha grandpa, but I felt like your vibe was still familial. Like, I felt like, it's that granddad, the one with the gun rack. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get it.
I think he was probably as familial as he was in the first episode where Dean meets him going in the past, because he wasn't very warm then.
Exactly. It all made sense to me. Exactly. It made sense to me. So my question is, again, new viewer right here and over there, Rob, we don't know what's going on. And man, there's clearly a lot of backstory cooking up with Sam Campbell and Sam Winchester that's got you guys making decisions that we don't know what the decisions are based on. How much intel did they give you about the advanced storyline?
Oh, Rich, that was so long ago. I honestly can't remember what I was given as far as where they were going with it. I didn't. I mean,
you're doing a great job because something's up.
But I didn't even know that Crowley was involved in the equation. I don't think. As an actor, I didn't know. No, I don't think anybody had said anything about that. About he was going to pop up and you were doing his dirty work. And I think that's, well, once again, you guys can't answer that question. Yeah. So I mean, I'm actually spoiling shit for you guys.
That's okay.
It's okay.
That's all right. But
we only have ourselves to blame. We've had 20 years. You know what I mean? Like if we're behind now, that's on us.
That's like at the conventions when you're at, when you talk about things that happen in season 11. No spoilers, but it's like at the conventions where it's just like spoilers are welcome, because at this point you should know.
Yeah, and every now and then a fan will go, "Hey," or like, "Look, you're at a supernatural convention. If you don't have all 15 seasons under your belt, we can't."
How many? I wonder who's watched all 15 seasons the most times.
A lot of people.
Like over and over.
Most people,
but I mean like the most.
Multiple
watched
times.
It over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Gosh, dang, that's a lot of episodes. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I
know just this has taken Rich and I like years. We always joke that our children are going to finish the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the people that built the pyramids.
Yeah.
Exactly. Somebody will carry on in our name.
Yeah. So one thing about Samuel is that he's all business, but he doesn't allow that same warmth for Sam and Dean that he did towards Mary.
Yeah.
He's a bit seems more strict. This incarnation of Samuel.
Yeah.
You almost have to remind yourself that he's their grandfather.
Yeah. And I don't know if he even knows what he's getting with Sam.
Right.
Soulless Sam.
Right.
At this point. Or do you guys even know that?
We don't know it, but we know something's up. And it's not that
we know something's up. Something's weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess at one point he says, so Sam came up from hell and I came down from heaven. I guess that's.
I see.
So Crowley, whatever. That's what I guess how they hooked back up again. However that happened, and then they were traipsing around for a year with the Campbell knuckleheads.
And when Korn Nemec, it's cool to see.
I was great working with. I love Korn, and it was that's the first time I ever worked with him, and I got to know him and we got to be friends, and I adore him.
Nice.
He's great.
Okay, yeah, he's a good dude. I've done a couple of conventions with him.
Yeah.
Did at this point did you have a place in Vancouver or no? You were
we were in LA because we had a place when I was doing the X-Files up in Vancouver, but I was just commuting back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, I bet when you go up there, you're just like, all your old haunts and people and
they know you. Hey, there's Mitch. Hi, Mitch.
You know me. and I try to stay away.
You're like, didn't you used to? I feel like you're like Dustin Hoffman in The Graduate. You're going back in the hotel and they're like, "Hi, Mr. Johnson." Like you're up there with your wife and they're like, "Hey, do you still go to that?" Shh, don't say the bar's name.
I'm telling you, I know Bellman and the concierge guys at the Sutton place. I've known them for 40 years, 35 years.
I bet.
They used to watch Sawyer when she was a baby.
Wow.
There's a lot of places I don't go into anymore up there. So.
Wow. How old is Sawyer now?
She's 27.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think when I met her on that trip, that infamous trip that you and I took together, she was like 13 or something.
She may have been younger than that.
She was young. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I remember at the time thinking that was old because I had babies at the time, thinking that was old. Now, of course, my baby is 20 years old, but.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah,
oh,
crazy.
Happens fast. Here's a question for you, Mitch. Because you come off two landmark shows, both Supernatural and X-Files, for which show do you get stopped for the most? Or for which show do you get stopped the most? Supernatural or X-Files? What do fans...
Just between the two of them?
Yeah, between those two.
X-Files.
Or is there a third show you get stopped for or more?
It's funny. I get stopped for Sons of Anarchy more than anything.
Really?
And I was on it so little. I mean, I really was not on it that much, but people know Derby and people know Sons.
Interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but between the two, it would have to be X-Files.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would imagine because you're such a core part of it.
But you go to a lot of the Supernatural conventions. What's the question they ask you the most at conventions as Samuel?
I'll tell you what, I don't think there's a whole lot of interest in Samuel Campbell because I don't think I get a lot of questions. I just about Samuel. I get more questions at the creation events about other shows that I've done than really.
Oh wow!
I don't think that Samuel was terribly loved. So I don't think they're really. I don't think. I mean,
you were because you get invited at a lot of these conventions, so people love seeing you.
Yeah, people love Mitch Pileggi, but look, so far. Sam, he's a tough nut to crack. Like when I'm watching, I'm like, we already decided he's not the warm and fuzzy guy.
Yeah.
But I do, again, I still see a charm in him that you don't necessarily see in the cousins.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
The thing about him that's important and why I think you're loved and brought back to the conventions and stuff is he's family. And this is a show about family and you are their grandfather. And so, you matter.
Yeah. One thing I do hear a lot is comparing Samuel to, I see a lot of comments. I hated Samuel, but I love Bonham, So
oh yeah,
so
interesting.
It's such a different character, and I mean, Bonham is still a hard ass, but but he's got a lot more personality than Samuel did.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, from Supernatural fans, I do get a lot of that. It's like, how could Samuel be just a horrible person, and then Bonham be so amazing?
Right.
Called acting.
It's acting. It's called acting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I feel lucky and fortunate that I have the opportunity to play those different types of characters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of what we do, right? I mean, I get the same thing, a lot of love, hate for the character I played on Supernatural.
Do you get a lot of
Yeah, because the last season I was the bad guy. So I kind of tried to take the show down as God, bad God. So yeah, I get a lot of we're pissed at you. We're still very pissed. Or we like Ra, we don't like Chuck.
And Supernatural fans are very passionate about
Yeah.
It turns out they like the show.
They sure do, and they've got strong opinions, boy. And
yes, they do. Well, you're going to have to come back as your character continues to unfold details that Rob and I are not aware of.
Give us spoilers.
You got to come back and talk to us again about the character.
I'd love to come back. I'd always love to come back and talk to you guys. I love you guys, so you know that.
We appreciate it. And also, it's a real compliment to you how many people want to work with Mitch Pileggi again. You get hired a lot, and then some people come back and scoop you up again, which speaks, obviously you're talented, but it speaks to your human, sensibilities and your character. So,
well, I learned something a long time ago just watching behavior of some actors and misbehavior of some actors, and I learned lessons, and I always thought, I don't want to be like that. I want to be a good person. I want to try to influence young actors who are coming up to be that way too. And don't let this business go to your head, because it's fleeting. Just enjoy yourself and let people around you enjoy themselves too, and not be an asshole. So that's the main thing for me. It's just I learned a long time ago, don't be an asshole, because it's too easy.
Well, you're good at that, because you are not an asshole.
Even with this resting Mitch face.
Resting Mitch face. I love that. That's really clever. Mitch Pileggi, thank you for doing this, and we'll have you on again soon.
You're an inspiration. You really are, Mitch. I really love you.
I love you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you in person whenever I do. And if not, I'll come back and we'll chat some more.
Love it, man. Thanks,
Mitch.
All right.
Well.
Love you, buddy.
Hey, this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We are going to take a quick break.
It's Star Wars meets Peaky Blinders meets Ted Lasso. The Galactic Football League series by #1 New York Times bestselling author Scott Sigler is now a free, unabridged podcast. The GFL is a star-spanning, high-action, high-stakes, coming-of-age story set against the backdrop of a professional football league 700 years in the future. That's the Galactic Football League series. Search for Scott Sigler, Sigler, wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Brennan Storr.
I'm Paul Bestall.
We're the Ghost Story Guys.
And every 2 weeks, we explore first-person stories of encounters with the paranormal from all around the world.
Then we have some fun reacting to those stories. We like to say our goal is to scare the hell out of you, then make you laugh.
Belief in the paranormal is not required. All you need is a love of great storytelling and curiosity about the world around you.
Come find the Ghost Story Guys on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else fine podcasts live, or at ghoststoryguys.com.
Hey, it's Jeffrey D. Morgan again. Welcome back to the podcast.
Well, Mitch Pileggi.
Is there anybody nicer?
I mean, it's so nice. I remember what he said. He's a great looking dude, and he looks 72. What? He does not look 72. That's not your father's 72.
He would have won the stuffed bear at the carnival
for sure. What, at the age?
Guess your age thing.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I thought maybe they're giving out stuffed bears just for aging.
They might, for aging well.
Yeah. In which case, you and I would not get a bear.
No, sir. No, sir.
All right.
The worst looking 26-year-olds in the business.
All right. Well, let's get on to a segment that we're still calling Mythology.
Mythology.
So we've now been through 5 seasons of Supernatural, and the series... 5, yeah. And the series has firmly established its own mythology and lore.
Firmly.
This episode draws heavily on pre-existing mythology and storylines.
Heavily.
Here are the first appearances of some of the most important elements and characters in Exile on Main Street. Rich?
Samuel Campbell's first appearance, Season 4, Episode 3, In the Beginning.
Lisa Braden's first appearance, season 3, episode 2, The Kids Are All Right. I didn't know it was that long ago.
I don't either. Jin's first appearance, season 2, episode 20, What Is and What Should Never Be.
Oh. Azazel's first appearance.
Pretty sure it's Azazel. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. It's Azazel.
What is it?
Azazel.
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 No, it's not Azazel. It's Azazel.
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 Okay. And I'm pretty sure it's Djinn, not Jin.
Jin.
Azazel's first appearance, not counting the pilot, where he was cloaked in shadows. Season 1, episode 21, Salvation. We finally got
Devil's Trap. Season 1, episode 22, named aptly Devil's Trap.
What? Come on. Yeah. Bobby's House. Season 1, episode 22, also called Devil's Trap because it's the same episode.
Silver Blades. Season 2, episode 12, Night Shifter. Oh, this is the exciting part. Rob, you want to do the honors?
And the name of Rich and my side project band that we've just started, Silver Blades.
It is, what is it?
Silver Blades.
Silver Blades. Thank you.
What were you going to say?
It just sounded like we were announcing nominees. Like, and the winner is?
Oh, the winner is, right.
Azazel's appearance. Woo!
Tied with Djinn.
Djinn.
Oh, that was fun. But not as fun as Fun Facts.
Fun Facts! Fun Facts! Fun Facts!
Fun Facts. The title of the episode comes from the 1972 release of the double LP from the Rolling Stones.
And in France, it's called L'Adieu aux Armes.
That's right. The Farewell to Weapons. Well, this is fun. While under the Djinn's influence, Dean is scared by a Yorkie in the Glickman's garage.
I don't think he should blame the Djinn any more than he should blame the vodka or the whiskey.
The whiskey.
I think,
or the scotch.
He's frightened for reasons that have nothing to do with the drink.
And we remember that in episode 406, Yellow Fever, while affected by the ghost sickness that heightens fear, Dean is chased by a Yorkie that he imagines is a hellhound.
Right.
And Rich?
In season 1, episode 22, Devil's Trap, when Sam and Dean let off the fire alarm in an apartment building in order to rescue John, Dean tells the fireman, I've got a Yorkie upstairs, and he pees when he's nervous.
So there's obviously Yorkie is Dean's spirit animal.
It's a Yorkie theme.
That can only mean that thing, that it's his spirit animal.
I wonder when he purchases a fresh Yorkie, is it a new Yorkie?
All right, well, that's it, guys. We're underway.
Yeah, man, we're underway and underweight. Rob and I have lost weight.
And we've lost a lot of weight. Just in the last hour. Well, we'll see you for episode 2, and have a good week.
Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next time.
This episode of Supernatural features Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester and Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester.
Guest stars include Jim Beaver, Cindy Sampson, Mitch Pileggi, Nicholas Elia, Corin Nimick, Jessica Heafy, and David Patecow.
Exile on Main Street was written by Sarah Gamble, directed by Phil Segresha.
Editing by Tom McQuaid. Music by Jay Greska.
Executive produced by Sarah Gamble, Robert Singer, and Eric Kripke.
The original broadcast of this episode featured the following songs: Beautiful Loser by Bob Seger
and Neighbors by Swank.
This episode originally aired on September 24th, 2010, one day after Rob Benedict's birthday.
Hey, 3 days, but that's good. Thanks for trying.
I was close.
This episode of Supernatural Then and Now was hosted and executive produced by Richard Spade Jr. and Rob Benedict.
Produced by Stephen Hine, written by Stephen Hine and Hada Holscher.
And edited and associate produced by Trey Booty.
What's up, Booty?
Music provided by Tim Wynn.
This episode was recorded with the help of Sonic Fuel Studios.
This podcast is from Story Mill Media.
To enjoy video clips, follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at SPN Then and Now.
Become a member of the podcast at patreon.com/SPN Then and Now.
Look at all those guitars. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Rob's got
holy smokes.
Rob's got guitar, man. Bad case of the guitars.
This guitar right here, the one in the middle. You can see 3 of them hanging up there.
Yeah.
The one in the middle. That Jared lent that to me until I die.
Wow.
After I'm dead, he gets it back.
That's beautiful.
Good for him. Never die. Show him by never dying.
Now, he gave me that. That's the guitar that I played on the show, and that was his guitar. He gave that to me for my birthday because I kept going on about what a great what a great guitar it was and how great it sounded. And so on my birthday, he comes carrying that guitar up to me at a restaurant we were eating at. He goes, I said, you better be planning on playing Happy Birthday to me because you don't give me that guitar, but he did. And I agreed. As I said, when I'm dead, you can get it back. So that's our deal.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Perfect.
So I'm just waiting for him to knock me off. Get his damn guitar back.
He'll have a reason.
I'm sorry.
First place the cops will look. Who had motive? That guy. I wonder when he purchases a fresh Yorkie, is it a New Yorkie? New Yorkie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna train it to pee outside. Go for a walk, chasing a stick, give him a snack, petting the pooch. These little dog sweaters, pat.
New Yorkie. I love you, New Yorkie.
Exactly. That's exciting. Quick side note. Did you know, Steve Hine, that when Rob and I were at a convention, either in Austin or Indianapolis, I can't remember, a young lady brought us a piece of art to sign that she had painted, and it was a painting of the Happy Fun Boat that kills you.
Yeah.
She painted the Happy Fun Boat that kills you.
Yeah.
How great is that?
Yeah. The title of every episode of Supernatural in Japanese.
In Japanese.
No, it's not. All right. A year has passed since Sam and Dean saved the world from the apocalypse.
I think it's pronounced apocalypse, but yes, go ahead.
Okay, apocalypse. With Sam having jumped into Lucifer's into.
Right out of the gate, Steve Hine is swinging for the fences with the typos.
Storymill Media.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Laureau, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth. Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you know what lies within nothing?
No.
Do you know where it ends? Do you want to know?
Yes. Counterbalance, a high fantasy audio drama. Season 2, coming 15th of October 2023. Learn more on trilunas.com.